Hey guys, it's Mary. So today I'm doing my November wrap up / December TBR. And the first book I finished, I finished this book in October. It is called Dreadfully Ever After by Steve Hawkins Smith. It is the sequel to Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Mr. Darcy has been bitten by a zombie, and it is Elizabeth's duty to go and try and find this cure along with her father and her sisters to help the love of her life. So that was a pretty good read. I like that a lot more than Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So I'd recommend that book to whoever liked Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Go on. Maybe even if you didn't like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies that much, I would still try and go on to that book. And then the second book I read was Illusion by Sherilyn Kenyon. It is number 5, I believe, in the Chronicles of Nick series. And this one took me like 24 hours to read. It wasn't that bad a read. I really loved seeing kind of a different side of Nick and how Nick kind of went through this situation that he did. So this was a really fast read, and I haven't picked up a Chronicles of Nick book in like 2 years. So I'm really excited. So I was really excited to get back into this world, and this was a good book to put me back inside that world. Everything started slowly coming back to me, even though 2 years is a long time not to pick up a book. And so then the third book I read, which I can't show you because it's on my Kindle, is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So I originally picked up this book because I thought it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I love Beauty and the Beast retellings. And it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling in most aspects. Feyre is this girl who lives with her 2 sisters and her father in this cabin, and they lost all their money and wealth years ago. She's the huntress in the family, and she is the main breadwinner, if you want to call it that. She shoots a fairy one day, and the humans and the fairies have been at war for a while, and they made this treaty that really isn't that. There must be some retribution of some kind if a human kills a fairy. And so Feyre kills the fairy, and a couple of days later, the beast named Tamlin comes in, and he is a high fae. He's lord of one of the courts, and he demands that she either pay or that she comes with him, and she goes with him and is his prisoner, and the rest is kind of standard Beauty and the Beast. I originally was very hesitant to pick up the book because Sarah J. Maas wrote Throne of Glass, and I didn't necessarily like those books. So I didn't know if it was just the story or the writing, but I immediately bought A Court of Mist and Fury after I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I really loved A Court of Thorns and Roses. It took me like a day to read. The book I read was The Other Round by Allie Carter. It is the second book in the Embassy Row series. This didn't take me that long to read either. It was very quick. It didn't pull me in as much as the first book did. This book, this book picks up basically immediately after the first book ends. So if it's been a while between the two books, you might want to just go reread the ending really quickly of the first one before you pick up this one. But this one was really good. I can't tell you basically anything about the plot. Besides, there is a festival and there is more drama and there is a mystery. And that is basically it for this. And I really love this book and I can't wait for the third one to come out. The book I read was Stealing Parker by Miranda Keneally, and I can't show you that book either because it's not my Kindle. But it is the second book in the 100 Oak series by her. And Stealing Parker was not my favorite. In the 4 books I've read, I would probably list it as number 4. It did not pull me in at all. It is the story of a baseball manager who flirts with the coach, and the coach is flirting back, and it becomes this whole little like flirtation affair, and it becomes this whole big thing, and she's just wanting more, and the coach can't give her more, but she's finding all these new friends, and it comes right after, not right after, but it comes a few months after Catching Jordan, and with the 100 Oak series, it's one of those series that even though there are different characters from other books do show up, so please read them in the correct order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I've read them 1, 4, 3, 2, and that is not the best order, because then I'm just like reading all of these or flipping through all of the books being like, oh, this is what happened to that character now. Okay. Yes. But that one wasn't my favorite. That one was not as eye-catching or as good, I believe, as the other 3 that I've read. And then I got to read A Court of Mist and Fury and by Sarah J. Maas, and that was so exciting. And I kind of knew what was coming because I was on Pinterest, I was on Tumblr, I was on Twitter, all were reading Court of Thorns and Roses. I didn't know why people loved Racine so much, but I figured it out, and I love that book so much. So I don't know why I binged those 2 books when the third one isn't coming out until May, but I'm really excited, and the second one picks up a few months after the first one takes off, and it is mainly about how a war is coming, and there is all of this like drama going on between several characters, and it is just such a fun read. It is so fun, and I can't believe I have to wait until May. The 6th book I read was Catching Jordan, which is the first book in the 100 Oak series. I reread it from like 2 years ago because I love Catching Jordan. It is my favorite book so far in the 100 Oak series, and definitely recommend reading it and the entire 100 Oak series. Jordan is a female football player. She is the quarterback of the 100 Oaks High football team. All of her friends are guys. Her best friend, since like she was like 5 or 6 or something, is a guy. He plays a huge role in the story, and suddenly this new kid named Ty comes to 100 Oaks High. He's transferred. He wants to be in the football team. He plays quarterback. And Jordan, who has never had a crush before at 17, has now found herself acting weird. She is wondering why she's feeling all these things. And it's just a really nice love triangle story. It's so beautiful. It's one of those contemporaries that you just love to reread over and over and over and over again. So definitely check that out, and check out all of Miranda Keneally's books. Book 7 I read was a book called Geek-tastic, and it was by all these different authors, including Holly Black and Cassandra Clare and John Green. And it was basically a collection of stories that were geeky, like, and most of them were romance stories. So there was kind of there was one story that was a love story, hookup, one night stand kind of thing, about a Trekkie and a Jedi. They know they can't really be together without starting a war. But it's a really cute story. And then there were other ones that were like MMORPG stories and like cosplay stories and just geeky stories that if you like anything sci-fi, Doctor Who, or Star Trek, Star Wars, MMORPG, things like that, you would just love this book. It is such a great book, and you can definitely tell like how geeky the authors are about all this stuff. So go check that out. That was such a good book. Next book I read was the Bane Chronicles, and I've had this book on my shelf for like 3 years. And this is the collection of short stories that came out on ebook, all about Magnus Bane, from why he was banned in Peru to his and Alex's first date. And I was very surprised that I liked this. I had already 3 of the ebooks. I didn't necessarily enjoy them, but I got this a few years ago and I read this very quickly, and I just love the ones mainly with Alec and Magnus, specifically their first date and Alec's birthday. Whenever Katarina or Ragnar show up, it's always very fun, very funny, and I just love this. And if you're a fan of Cassandra Clare, pick this up. And then the last book is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the illustrated edition. I love Harry Potter. You probably already know that. It is my favorite book. I love the Sorcerer's Stone illustrated edition. This, I don't know, but it's so much better. I mean, the illustrations are better than the first one, and that's saying a lot. It did kind of creep me out because some of the pictures of the spiders are very real, and I'm afraid of spiders, so it is very creepy sometimes. And if you don't like spiders, especially like looking off like their eyes and stuff like that, just skim over the painting or the drawing. They are still great drawings. And I do appreciate you guys kind of getting over like trying to hear me because I have laryngitis, but I haven't made a video in a month, so I decided I'm going to make a video. The 2 books I decided I'm going to read for December because I got a job and it's going to take up most of my time is called The Season, and I forget who it's by. It's like Lisa Dwyer or something. It is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. This girl is a soccer player. Her mother assigns her and her sister up to be debutantes. She does not want to be a debutante. She wants to be a soccer player. And I haven't gotten really that far in it, but it's good so far. And it's about her journey just being this debutante that, like, everybody believes she can't be, but she's doing it for her family. And then the next book is The Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan, and I'm so excited to finally read this book. It is set in the Percy Jackson world, like basically every other Rick Riordan book, because they could all be connected back to Percy Jackson in some way. And Apollo has been sent down to Earth to live like a human or a demigod by Zeus because he did something, and I'm very excited to read this and The Season. So those are my 2 books. I have another video coming out soon, I promise. What books are you guys reading this month? Let me know down below, and subscribe please. Bye!